Ah, yes, the good old-fashioned RGB LED light strip. A very convenient little light to have, and it can also bring in lots of color and more pizzazz into a room, or let's say something like this. As you can see right now, my room is currently very boring and dull in terms of lighting. That's all I gotta say. Now, but my point is, RGB strips are a really, really good product to have if you know how to work them out and set them up. Because let me tell you, when I tried to set up RGB light strips, it was just really, really frustrating just to get two strips connected, and then they just either not connect properly or just disconnect altogether. Even the connector wires on the connectors themselves go to shit creek. It's not a fun experience. It's not fun at all. It was very frustrating, extremely frustrating. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my personal struggles of setting up RGB light strips. And then at the very end, I'm going to show you a little RGB setup that I have. It's literally not much, but it's a good start, really. And you're probably wondering to yourself, oh, but Crusader, you said that you weren't happy with the light strips when you tried to set them up. You were so frustrated, remember? So wouldn't it have you quit and forgotten about them? Well, no, I have not. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Just let me get on with the story real quick. I just need a drink first, because your boy is pretty thirsty. Oh, that's good stuff. Anyways, pardon me. Around a month ago, 8 o'clock in the morning, on my second cup of coffee, a little idea popped into his head, and I thought to myself, you know what would be really cool to have in your room? Some colourful RGB light strips. Could definitely bring some more uniqueness and pizzazz into the room. And so I went along with it. I did a little bit of research about them, how to connect them, how to solder them if you had to. I did not have access to a soldering kit though, let's be honest. So I had to rely on connectors. Anyways, moving on, back to the little story. So, the same day, I went into a neighboring town and I went to my local hardware store called Bunnings Warehouse. And for my American audience who have no idea what I'm talking about, it's basically. How do I say this? Let's just say it's the Aussie version of Home Depot or whatever hardware stores you guys got. But that's what Bunnings basically is. It's a hardware store. I know all my fellow Australians would know what I'm talking about. But moving on. So I go into the store and I go into the lighting section and I look at the range that they have. And then I spot a certain brand, Mirabella, and the product that they had right in front of me was the Mirabella Genio Smart LED light strips. It was a total of 10 meters and it costed nearly $100. It was just 99 Australian dollars. And how it would work basically is you set them up and then you have to get the Mirabella Genio app and do some magic with Bluetooth and sign in, yada yada yada, and then got to connect it to your Wi-Fi router, and it has to be 2.4 GHz or it just won't work. So then you get that working and then basically your phone is a remote control. So I buy myself one of them and I come home and I try to set it up from near the door frame of my cupboard, just around that way, almost to halfway to my window, which is all the way up there. I can show you guys that real quick. Just there's my window. Anyways, I set it up and then I try to work out the connectors. And as I was trying to set up the lights and try to connect them back to each other, something just wasn't right. One of the strips was a different color and it didn't work out well. And keep in mind, I cut off just about more than half of the 10 meter strip, so I had to throw that strip out, but I kept the connectors with them. The pack actually came with 3 wired connectors, which it was helpful. So then I had to go back there again to get another set, which set me back another $99. And then I thought, now I've got 3 more connectors, so I can use all my 6 connectors and then put it around the corners. Because the wires, they were pretty much in a little curvy L shape, which was not really helpful if you want to keep it in a straight line, but I thought it was effective for the corners. And that's exactly what I did. So I had the strip all up there, back to halfway to a windowsill. And from every corner I went past, I just cut the strip from where I measured it, and then I just got connector to the strip, there. And it seemed to work really well. I even showed a few of my friends the strip, and they were really impressed. And then 2 hours later, one of the strips was a different color from the other, and then I immediately thought, oh god, the connectors. There's something wrong with the connectors, isn't there? And I tried to fix the connectors up, but as I was, and even moving the wires slightly, things just didn't go as planned. To the point where the connectors wouldn't even connect back to the strips. They just fell off. So I had to throw those ones out again. I did not get much sleep after that night. Just frustrated with the lights. It was good progress though. I was happy with the lights. But the connectors, bro. Oh yeah, speaking of connectors, I then went on to Amazon and I bought myself a whole bunch of connectors in T-shaped variations, and then L-shaped variations, and then just normal looking connectors. So I got myself a pack each, or I think it was a 2-pack of the T ones, I don't remember. But anyway, this time I go into my local supermarket called Woolworths, and then I go to their lighting section, and they had boxes of the same brand, but it was a different product. This time it was a 5-volt USB powered 5-meter RGB strip. And it didn't come with connectors, it did not come with a remote control at all. Literally, you can just control it from... What is that thing down there again? Just a little, I'd say a little thumb or finger panel with just 3 buttons. You have to do some button mashing to get some certain features or colors onto it. It's annoying, but... that's what I could really afford at the time. Anyways, I got myself a couple of packs of those, and then I was looking on YouTube for some little RGB tutorials, and I seen a little tip, and the guy was basically saying that you should put your RGB strips somewhere hidden, like for example behind a desk, so the colors would bounce off from the walls and then back onto you, so it looks a lot better instead of having the lights be exposed. And I have to admit, it did look good, so I tried that out. I had to move literally everything I had on my desk, the microphone, the mouse, the entire laptop, all of my stuff that is on this desk had to be moved, placed on the bed, wires and all. Extremely annoying it was, just so I could move the desk forward so I could get in and then try and figure out what I wanted to do. I tried to, but I couldn't. Oh yeah, the connectors did also come with some adhesive clips with adhesive on them, and you could just stick it onto there as well. I tried doing that, it didn't work out well. And when I tried to set up the T-shaped connectors, the wiring was all the opposite. It was all inverted. It was super annoying to work with. So then I just gave up with trying to do it on the back of the desk, and I thought, why don't I just put it on the front of a desk and then run it along up the top and then down the other side of the front. And I tried doing that, but of course it never worked. I had an L-shaped connector, and of course I ran into the same problem again as I did with the $100 ones. The connectors would not connect properly. So basically what my problem was, even if I just moved it slightly, it would work, but if it still moved slightly. Super annoying, I know. And one strip would be from red, and then a very dull green, and then it goes to blue, and then it's just completely different colors again. It's just like only one of the wires or the copper lines would connect. I had to throw away those strips because the adhesive was ruined and I cut them up to pieces. So I had to throw those out. And then I decided to try the walls again with the L-shaped connectors, up the door frame, L-shaped connector up there, run it along, and of course nothing worked out well. And then I tried to connect things up there, nothing worked as well connector wise. So I threw the other 2 strips out. I had 1 left, and at that point I was absolutely done. I was so frustrated to the point where I wanted to hit a wall, more specifically this wall. I don't know what that wall did to me, but I just wanted to hit it. I didn't, but I should have. And man, it hit me. I had this little idea, and I thought to myself, you know what? Instead of using all these little fancy connectors, what if you just put the whole strip, let's say, up the wall, and then run it along the ceiling without cutting it? You just put the whole strip up. You just put it all up. And so I did that, and the results were better than I expected. Sure, it was only just one strip going up from the wall to the ceiling, but it was still nice. It still looked pretty good. So then I thought, hey, get another one and do the exact same thing, but over there. And so I did that too. Up the wall, up towards the ceiling, almost near the window. And it looked really good. It actually brought a lot more light and brightness into the room. Definitely a lot more pizzazz. Yeah, it certainly did. But anyway, that's it. Now let's move on to the little showcase. Alright guys, so I've just switched from the webcam to the phone cam, and now it's time for a little showcase of my little RGB setup. The moment you've all been waiting for. So let's just dive into that right now, folks. What we got here, I have a little RGB pole, which I have just close to the desk, almost in the corner. And then here's the strip. It's going up the wall next to the wardrobe door frame, and then just up there. But moving down here, there's another strip that goes up near the door frame, and just the exact same story. I know, a little bit wonky, but bro did not want to go straight. So anyway, let's just turn off that lamp, and then we'll turn on the RGB lights. With a snap of my fingers, things will change right now. And there it is, guys. Got the RGB lights on and the little silly rainbow pole, as a couple of my friends would have joked about. Kind of looks like a lightsaber, not gonna lie. And then there's the other strip just up there. But yeah, as I said before, these things are not USB powered, the strips, so you gotta button mash a lot just to change things. So I can change it to a little pink or purple, green, I think it's a little white there, more green, and blue, red, orange, just whatever colours are there. And you can also change the modes on them, which I think is actually good. We've got a little flashing RGB mode there, that's nice. Yeah, I'll fix this up later. But no, that's basically it. Besides the strips, the rainbow pole, and the RGB keyboard I have, the RGB microphone, and the RGB mouse, that is basically it. And that is going to do it for this video, guys. So if you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And leave a rating down in the comments, out of 10, on what you think of my little setup. And if you want to, even give me a little suggestions of what I should do, RGB wise. Whatever you think, really. Just give me a few suggestions. I may or may not go through with them. Who knows? But anyways, I will see you in another video. Bye bye.